Good morning. This is Mark from MLB DFS Weather.com. I just realized you might not be listening to this or watching this during the morning, but it's morning to me. Anyways, we got a similar weather setup than we did yesterday. Pretty quiet across the country. The one area that I'll be watching closely that may impact the MLB games is this band of showers and thunderstorms across the Dakotas. Now, my weather models that I use are keeping the rain northwest of Minnesota. Here's the Twin Cities down here, and here's the rain that's affecting the region, the Dakotas, this afternoon. The Minnesota Twins host the New York Yankees at 2 o'clock, well, 2:10 actually, and this is a 2 p.m. simulated radar. So you can see why I'm not expecting any problems. If you go over to Daily Fantasy Cafe, I have my two fancy charts here. Notice a slight change to the charts today, where I have oranges and reds are going to be good for the pitchers, greens are good for the batters, and the yellows are neutral. So just think of green as good for hitters, oranges and reds bad for hitters. And so that's the one change we have to my chart, like I said. So a couple things stand out here. And same thing goes over here with higher numbers for the hitters. The green is good for them, and the orange is bad for the pitchers. We have a couple ballparks that stand out that are going to favor the hitter today. That's in Minnesota because it's warm and the wind is blowing in just a little bit, but it's really warm and humid, so that's going to favor the hitter. Citizens Bank in Philly at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The wind is blowing out to right field. It's warm. Camden Yards is a neutral wind, but it's just a good hitting environment in general, so I'll give that a favor for the hitter. And, of course, Wrigley, the wind is neutral, but, again, a good hitting environment, atmosphere, a good hitting ballpark in general historically. Two pitchers' parks that stand out are the two games that are going to be played indoors. Well, there's 3 games that are most likely going to be played indoors. Ironically enough, they all start at the same time at 4:10. And that is at Tropicana, where the Giants are visiting the Rays, and Miami, where the Rockies are in town. Both are going to be played indoors in Florida, that's going to see their share of thunderstorms. Obviously, the Dome in Tropicana can't be open, so that's always the case. But Marlins Park, from May through September, 90% of the time, the ballpark is closed because of the threat of showers and thunderstorms around. And then Minute Maid in Houston, there's going to be some showers and thunderstorms around as well that will most likely keep the retractable roof closed. But that's a little bit different because that, even with the retractable roof closed, that sort of plays as a hitter's ballpark. So you can see why I have the 6 and the 4 there. The 6, so it's a slight favorite for the hitter. Besides that, I'll keep an eye on Minnesota. Again, use these to your advantages for playing fantasy sports, whether it's daily or season long. We get some really good hitting environments in Minnesota, Baltimore, Philly, and Chicago, and some pretty poor ones for Miami and Tampa. So pitchers may be good to go there. That's all I have for you. If anything changes during the day, I will obviously update you and give you the heads up on the alert or delay threat. And I'll continue to watch the Twins, as that looks like the game that may be at the most risk for any issue. But right now I only have them as a 10% rain risk and a 5% delay risk, as you can see here in the chart. Have a good Saturday.